These 5 habits are slowly killing you after 60. Stop them today. Have you ever woken up feeling like your energy just isn't what it used to be? Like no matter how much you rest, you still feel sluggish, achy, or just not yourself? Maybe you've noticed that little things, like climbing the stairs, bending, down to tie your shoes, or even staying focused on a book, feel more difficult than they should. And the worst part? You can't quite figure out why. Well, here's the truth. It's not just getting older. It's not just something you have to accept. The good news is, a lot of what we blame on age actually comes down to small daily habits, things we do every single day, often without thinking, that are slowly draining our health, our strength, and our happiness. And that's exactly what we're talking about today. Because if you're over 60, there are 5 daily habits that could be quietly cutting years off your life. The best part? Once you know what they are, you can change them starting today. Let's dive in. One of the most common and most dangerous habits that's hurting your health after 60 is sitting too much. Now, I know what you're thinking. Come on, I stay active, I walk, I do my chores, I move around. But let me ask you this. How many hours a day do you sit? Between meals, watching TV, reading, or scrolling on your phone? It adds up fast. And here's the scary part. Sitting for long periods actually slows down your circulation, weakens your muscles, and even increases your risk of serious diseases like heart disease and diabetes. Studies have shown that people who sit for more than 6 hours a day are at a higher risk of early death, even if they exercise. Yes, even if you go for a daily walk, it's still dangerous to sit too much the rest of the day. So what can you do? It's actually super simple. You don't have to run marathons or spend hours in the gym. Just stand up and move every 30 minutes. Set a reminder if you have to. Walk around the house, stretch your legs, do a few squats or toe raises, just get the blood flowing. If you're watching TV, stand up during commercials. If you're on the phone, walk around while you talk. Little movements like this wake up your muscles, improve your blood flow, and keep your energy levels up. And here's the best part. You'll start feeling the difference almost immediately. Your legs won't feel as stiff, your back won't ache as much, and you'll have more energy throughout the day. Now let's talk about the second daily habit that's quietly hurting you, and this one might surprise you. It's not drinking enough water. I know you've heard this one before, but stay with me. Because most people over 60 are severely dehydrated and don't even realize it. And dehydration doesn't just make you feel thirsty, it causes fatigue, headaches, joint pain, and even memory problems. In fact, studies show that even mild dehydration can cause brain fog, confusion, and dizziness, which increases your risk of falls and injuries. And here's the kicker. As we age, our sense of thirst weakens. That means by the time you feel thirsty, you're already dehydrated. So if you're not making a conscious effort to drink water throughout the day, chances are you're not getting enough. So what's the fix? Simple. Start your day with a full glass of water, before coffee, before breakfast, before anything. And then make it a habit to drink water consistently throughout the day. If plain water feels boring, add a slice of lemon, cucumber, or even a splash of juice. Herbal teas count too. And here's a little trick. Use a water bottle with measurements so you can track how much you're actually drinking. Because let's be honest, if you're just guessing, you're probably not drinking enough. Now you might be wondering, how much water do I really need? A good rule of thumb is at least 6 to 8 glasses a day. But if you're active or live in a hot climate, you'll need more. And if you find yourself feeling tired in the afternoon, try drinking a glass of water instead of reaching for coffee or a snack. You'd be surprised how often dehydration is the real cause of that midday slump. All right, we've covered 2 of the most common habits that are quietly shortening your life: sitting too much and not drinking enough water. Both are easy to fix, and once you start making small changes, you'll notice big improvements in how you feel every day. But we're not done yet. There's another daily habit that's just as dangerous, one that affects your sleep, your weight, and even your heart health. And chances are you're doing it without even realizing. Have you ever wondered why, despite getting a full night's sleep, you still wake up feeling groggy, sluggish, or just not as sharp as you used to be? You might think, well, I'm just getting older. But that's not the real reason. The third daily habit that's slowly draining your health is something most people don't even think about: poor sleep quality. Now, I'm not just talking about how many hours you sleep. You could be in bed for 8, even 9 hours, but if your sleep isn't deep and restorative, your body isn't getting the repair it needs. And here's the scary part. Poor sleep is directly linked to memory loss, weight gain, high blood pressure, and even a higher risk of heart attacks and strokes. In fact, studies show that people who consistently get low-quality sleep are at a much higher risk of dementia. So what's really causing this? The biggest culprit? Using screens before bed. If you're watching TV, scrolling on your phone, or reading on a tablet before bed, you're exposing yourself to blue light, which tricks your brain into thinking it's still daytime. That means your body doesn't produce enough melatonin, the hormone that makes you sleepy. As a result, you take longer to fall asleep, wake up more often during the night, and never reach the deep sleep stage your body desperately needs. And it doesn't stop there. Poor sleep quality can also mess with your metabolism, making it harder to maintain a healthy weight. It increases cravings for sugary and processed foods, raises your stress hormones, and even weakens your immune system. Ever notice how you feel more anxious or irritable after a bad night's sleep? That's your brain struggling to function properly without proper rest. But here's the good news. Fixing your sleep is easier than you think. Start by making one simple change. Turn off all screens at least 1 hour before bed. Instead of watching TV or scrolling through your phone, try reading a physical book, listening to calming music, or doing some light stretching. Another powerful trick? Keep your bedroom dark and cool. Your body sleeps best in a room that's around 65-68 degrees, 18-20 degrees, and as dark as possible. If outside light sneaks in, use blackout curtains or a sleep mask. And if you find yourself waking up in the middle of the night, don't immediately check your phone. Instead, try deep breathing or progressive relaxation to help you drift back to sleep naturally. Now, we've covered 3 dangerous daily habits so far: sitting too much, not drinking enough water, and poor sleep quality. And trust me, even small changes in these areas can lead to huge improvements in your energy, focus, and overall health. But we're not stopping here, because there's another silent habit that's even more dangerous. Let me ask you, how often do you eat processed foods? I'm talking about frozen meals, packaged snacks, store-bought bread, or even things like cereal and canned soups. You might think, well, I don't eat that much junk food. But the truth is, processed foods are everywhere, and they're one of the biggest reasons people over 60 are struggling with weight gain, joint pain, high blood pressure, and even early aging. The problem? These foods are packed with preservatives, unhealthy fats, and hidden sugars that cause inflammation, a major factor in arthritis, heart disease, and even Alzheimer's. And the worst part? Many foods labeled as healthy or low-fat are actually filled with chemicals that do more harm than good. Things like artificial sweeteners, hydrogenated oils, and high-fructose corn syrup may taste good, but they wreak havoc on your body over time. So what can you do instead? Start by making one small switch at a time. Instead of store-bought bread, try whole grain or sprouted bread. Instead of sugary cereals, go for plain oatmeal with fresh fruit. And instead of processed meats like hot dogs or deli slices, opt for fresh chicken, turkey, or fish. And here's a simple rule that makes a huge difference. If it has more than 5 ingredients and you can't pronounce half of them, put it back on the shelf. Now, I know making dietary changes can feel overwhelming, especially if you've been eating a certain way for decades. But here's the secret. You don't have to change everything overnight. Just start with 1 meal a day. Swap out processed foods for whole, natural options, and you'll start noticing the difference in how you feel almost immediately. All right, we've covered 4 powerful habits that could be secretly harming your health: sitting too much, not drinking enough water, poor sleep, and processed foods. But there's still one more daily habit that most people never think about. One that affects not just your physical health, but also your emotional well-being. There's something many people don't talk about when it comes to aging. It's not just about staying physically healthy, drinking more water, or cutting out bad foods. It's about your mindset. Because the final daily habit that could be quietly shortening your life isn't something you eat or drink. It's negative thinking and chronic stress. Now, I know life isn't always easy. Maybe you've lost friends or loved ones, Maybe your body doesn't move like it used to, or maybe you feel like the world is changing too fast. It's easy to slip into negative thoughts, worrying about the future, dwelling on regrets, or feeling like your best years are behind you. But here's the truth. Your thoughts have the power to shape your health. Science proves it. Chronic stress and negativity weaken your immune system, increase inflammation in the body, and even speed up aging. People who constantly worry or feel isolated are more likely to develop high blood pressure, heart disease, and even Alzheimer's. On the flip side, those who stay mentally engaged, focus on gratitude, and find reasons to enjoy life live longer, healthier, and happier. Now you might be wondering, no, how do I just stop negative thinking? And I get it, it's not always easy. But here's the secret. Start small. First, be mindful of your thoughts. When you catch yourself thinking something negative, I'm too old for this, I can't do that anymore, life is just getting harder, pause and ask yourself, is this thought helping me or hurting me? More often than not, you'll realize it's just a habit of thinking, not the truth. Second, practice gratitude. Every morning, before you get out of bed, think of 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be big. Maybe it's the fact that you woke up feeling good. Maybe it's the sound of birds outside, or even a warm cup of tea waiting for you in the kitchen. Shifting your focus to gratitude literally rewires your brain to look for the good in life. And third, stay connected. Loneliness is one of the biggest health risks for people over 60. It raises stress hormones, weakens your immune system, and can even shorten your lifespan. But here's the good news. You don't need a huge social circle to feel connected. Even one good conversation a day, a chat with a neighbor, a phone call with an old friend, or even talking to a pet, can boost your mood, lower stress, and improve your overall health. The key is to make your mental well-being a daily habit, just like drinking water or getting up to move. Because at the end of the day, a strong, positive mind is just as important as a strong body. Now let's quickly go over everything we covered today. 5 daily habits that could be silently cutting years off your life. Sitting too much. Get up and move every 30 minutes, not drinking enough water. Start your day with a glass of water and stay hydrated. Poor sleep quality. Avoid screens before bed and make your bedroom cool and dark. Eating too many processed foods. Swap them out for fresh, whole foods. Negative thinking and chronic stress. Focus on gratitude, positive thoughts, and staying connected. The best part? You don't have to change everything at once. Just start with one small shift today. Maybe it's standing up more. Maybe it's drinking more water. Maybe it's reaching out to a friend. Every small step adds up to a healthier, happier, and longer life. And remember, you are never too old to feel better, stronger, and more alive. Your body is still capable of incredible things, and your best years, they're the ones you decide to make the best. If this video helped you, let me know in the comments. Which habit are you going to start changing today? And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on more tips to stay healthy, independent, and full of life. Here's to living your best life at any age.